What are examples of being picked last in gym class as an adult? When your friends all make plans together in front of you, and then only invite you because you just heard them make the plans. What if you don't get invited anyways? Before you ask, I left that group. Watching Snapchat stories and seeing that everyone is hanging out together but you were never invited. And being the friend that people hang out with only because they have no one else. Someone on my team at work had a huge, fun, fancy wedding. I was the only one not invited. Every day, I get to look at the picture that sits in my boss's office of the whole group dressed up in their finest, having a blast. I'd never say a word, but damn, exclusion stings. Being left out of the group chat. Bonus points for finding out when everyone else's phone in the room gets a text at once. In high school I got added to one. They asked me for the answer to a question from our math assignment. I sent it since I had it, then I was removed. I could still see who was in the group and it was 95% of the math class. Watching everyone's birthdays get celebrated at the office. Then when your big 30th comes, no one even bothers to tell you happy birthday. Husband even brought me balloons and flowers, so they knew it was my birthday. Applying for a job that you're well qualified for, not hearing anything back for weeks, and then seeing the position being reposted without having even a follow-up email from them. Finding out your friends went out on the town. They never called or texted. I play in a little cover band with some friends of mine. It was funny in a sad way when I saw all of their Facebook posts from their weekend on the lake. Literally every member in the band was there except me. Group lunches at work. Especially when the whole group is heading out to lunch and you're sitting at your desk and they're either totally unaware of you at all, or worse, someone makes eye contact by accident and then is like, oh, do you want to come? Hey, we are all going to, insert fun activity, and, insert other friend, just said they can't make it. Do you want to come along? It's nice, but it's also hurtful. Happened to me a lot. I was the backup friend. The worst time is when I was invited to a birthday party the day before. It was a murder mystery dinner theater type thing, but for kids, and it was in a church basement in the middle of the afternoon. She told me my character and said to come dressed up for the part. I was excited despite the late invite and my mom helped me put together an awesome outfit. And then about 10 minutes after I arrived, before the mystery even starts, the girl who I was apparently replacing walks in costume, and says something about her other plans got cancelled, so yay, she was able to come after all. The birthday girl immediately walked up to me and says I can leave because they don't actually need me anymore. I was probably only 10, but I will never forget that humiliation as long as I live. For me, it was when everyone went on the camping trip I initially planned. They made a separate group chat and went a week before we planned. They were too chicken shit to tell me they invited someone else and replaced my ride to our destination. After that I stopped talking to my friends of the last 8 years of my life. I feel a lot better. It made me realize how selfish they were. Small edit, since I have a lot of people who think him just a whiny hole. Let me clear this up. I'm not saying my friends uninvited me with malice. They just wanted room for someone else. So the easiest way was to drop me from the trip. That's why I feel like the last to be picked. Because to them I was just a filler friend. Co-workers intentionally keeping you in the dark about things. Like free meals your employer provides and similar policies. Yeah, I've had that happen to me. People are dicks. Conan did a comedy expose piece about this kind of thing. In his office they had a special group of employees who would contact each other if some free food came in, so other employees didn't get any. Working freelance and the only phone calls you get are, can you work in 10 hours? Never can you work next week? That's when you know your plan's dead. When your brother picks his female best friend to be his best man at his wedding, instead of you. Then getting shit on by your parents when you consider not having him as your best man. Where were you guys when he was planning? Not getting invited to people weddings. For some reason I never get invited and it breaks my heart. I'm a big shaved head guy and I have been in tears more than once over this shit. People I really loved having weddings and everyone else except me is there. Made me feel just like there is something wrong with me, but I've never had any form of confrontation or anything with anyone. I am just happy to be there. I don't drink too much. Don't argue. Don't do anything except joke and have fun. Today my friend Andrew invited me to his wedding. I almost cried. It's easy to make people feel worthless by excluding them. Edit. Wow. Thanks for the kind and heartfelt and kind responses, mostly lol, and thank you for so many of you inviting me to your weddings. I wish you all the happiness you can possibly have and blessings in your lives. Stay kind to each other, and thanks for making me feel loved and included. Smile, it made my day, big time. You are all awesome. One thing I had to add to be 100% truthful, which I just remembered. I did get invited to a Bollywood Indian wedding once, but I couldn't get a babysitter and my son was sick, so I had to stay with him, which I don't regret because he is awesome, but I would have liked that. I love Indians. And from what I hear, the wedding was insane. Second edit, last night I got asked to be someone's best man. I don't know what is happening, but I'll take it. Someone in the office showing everyone a hilarious photo on their phone. They show everyone but you. You laugh anyways cause everyone else is laughing, but inside you don't laugh. I was asked to come over and fix a friend's laptop. Seeing as it was on the way home, I drove to his house and fixed it, suddenly right after he had to go somewhere, and I was shown the door. The way he did it, right after I fixed it, just walked over, opened the door and said, I have to head out, thanks. A few months later he had computer problems again and I just made up excuses not to go. He was pretty persistent, told him $200 and I'll come out, otherwise no. Stand up for yourself, don't let people shit on you. Being asked, begged by the bride, one of my oldest friends, to be a bridesmaid, then have her change her mind, and tell everyone but me that she changed her mind. Imagine my confusion when they had the fittings and I found out after the fact. I felt like I was in elementary school all over again. Sitting at one of your stepsister's house on Christmas Day and listening to your stepsisters and stepsister-in-law and stepmother planning a fabulous Boxing Day outing that you're not invited to. That happened to my wife. She's not usually hypersensitive socially, but she cried all the way home after that. Throwing myself a bit of a pity party here. When your office celebrates everyone's birthday but forgets yours. Yup, today is my birthday and no one cares. Edit, I tried to thank everyone as the birthday wishes came in. If I missed you, I'm sorry, and I want to say thank you. You guys are so awesome and really brightened my day. Special thank you to the kind stranger for the gold. You guys really know how to make a lady feel special. Joining a hot yoga class for the first time, being easily 50 pounds heavier than the heaviest person there, and having the yoga instructor completely ignore you, but focus on, communicate with the only two others in the room. Humiliating experience. A few years ago, a group of friends from church and I were discussing starting a small Bible study group. We had a couple lengthy conversations about it after Sunday services, but then I never heard any more about it. A month or so later, I found out they started a group without me. When I asked someone about it, I was told that a woman, who was not even there when we talked, had a vision during her prayer time about a small group starting that included all the other women, but not me. So basically, Jesus told her to exclude me. Oh. People around you getting raises when you asked for one before any of them did, and know you're doing just as much if not more than they are. It is what it is. I've been in the pipeline for a raise since November. Just so happens to always be an inconvenience when I try to push for it. Last time I played softball I had to be moved around 4 different times to different positions until they found the one that I did the least amount of damage at. Edit, you all are so nice to me. It was a fun team full of friends and other people who were also terrible to varying degrees. I'm so glad that so many of you empathize. Smile. My husband's closest childhood friend was choosing his wedding party. He texted him, "Sorry man, you didn't make the cut," pouting face. Later, I threw a surprise birthday for my husband. His friend messaged me and asked why he wasn't invited. I'm thinking you can guess my response. Smile. Edit. Oh wow. My first gold. Thank you. It'll be buried, but I once went to a group interview. The job was for 9 positions at the hospital and there were 9 of us there. Great, huh? They interviewed all 9 of us together, then interviewed us individually. They said they'd let us know when we started work via a phone call that coming Wednesday. Looks like we all got hired. Fantastic. The next day I got an email saying they had decided not to process my application any further. I went back to the job advertising site and found the ad had been changed. Now there was just 1 position open. Basically, it looks like they had decided to hire everyone except me and were now advertising the position for anyone but me. I was that bad in the interview. Only getting attention from men in bars after they have learned that all of the women I'm there with are in happy, long-term relationships. Take your consolatory offer to buy me a drink and shove it, Brad. I like you a lot and I could see us together. I'm just not emotionally available to commit to a relationship right now. Or something along those lines. The bonus is when they end up in a relationship with someone in 2 weeks after you parted ways. When people you know are getting married and everyone is invited except you. It used to bug me, but I realize weddings are expensive and they can't invite everyone. Everyone in a group chat making a generous/courteous offer to respond to whatever other people say in the chat, but not for you. You type into the void. My best friends all respond to me now and it's just the best thing ever. Seeing people genuinely worse than you get the promotion and or pay raise. Also being the very last one asked to cover shifts only because they know you'll say yes to more hours since they give you a shit schedule anyway. I know of co-workers who have told management straight up they didn't want more hours, they actually want less hours, and management still asks them to cover shifts before they ask me. My job is timely, so I've clocked myself versus other co-workers, and the girl who is 2-3x slower than me on any given day gets the shifts that I ask for. I do the same job at the same quality or better, faster. My boss tells me she is very happy with the work I do. I don't understand. At work, I am a software engineer that is by far the most junior member on my team, minimum 15-year difference, average is probably closer to 20, I get a lot of boring projects and menial tasks. I understand that I don't have as much experience and others can likely get the job done faster, but goddamn it's frustrating. Brought it up with my boss several times but thus far no sign of improvement. But I'm trying to move back home, so knock on wood won't be my situation for too much longer. Took a female friend of mine out dancing for her birthday. We had been friends for a long time, so it wasn't anything romantic, but I asked her to dance with me, country western type bar, so upbeat vibe. She was hesitant. There was a group of girls sitting across the bar, she challenged me to ask one of them to dance. If one of the girls said yes, my friend would dance with me. Plot twist, I got all of the girls in the group to dance with me, at the same time. What happened next is the shitty part. Once I finished dancing with a group of girls, she started dancing with some other dude. Didn't pay much attention to me after that. We never did dance. I'd quite, but even though we were just friends, it still kinda stung.